Welcome back. Don't you just love that new jingle? That looks beautiful. The bumper looks just different and fresh. Just the way to start your Monday, guys. Welcome back. This is Full Circle with Mwikali. Remember, you can talk to us 111 That is our SMS line. It's going to cost you just a shilling. On social media, Switch TV KE, Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Right now, though, it is time for Advice Circle. So on Advice Circle today, we are talking about how you go about getting funding. Where do you look? How do you present yourself? And having this conversation with us is a gentleman who has done an amazing job for the community. And I think we met in Mathare. Calvin Jodisi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was Mathare, right?
Yeah, we met in, but actually
we've met before.
We had our first interview when you used to be at KBC, when you used to be at the English service.
Yes.
So we come all the way back.
That was a long time ago, and you've always been like this change maker in society, and you're still doing that.
I try.
Are you still making those amazing baskets and the bottles?
Yeah, we still make those ones.
Okay.
And although right now I got more into entrepreneurship training, so I want to really help young people develop ideas, pitch their ideas.
You took it to another level.
Yeah, so basically, I want to be part of the change by mentoring young people and showing them the direction.
And talking about entrepreneurship,
yeah,
you've also dipped your foot in, getting in front of people, trying to get, funding for a business that you believed in.
Yeah.
That was Lions Den. Please tell us about that and how that takes a lot of courage.
I had a chance, I think 2017, to pitch at the Lions Den, which was it was my first pitch ever on national TV.
Oh my God.
And definitely I had to prepare for it. Pitching an idea it's not easy. You have to really prepare for it.
Yes. So what was it?
Yes. So, I was pitching about our social enterprise business that's in Mathare, where we make eco-friendly bags.
Yes.
And so that was, it's more impact driven. And so, yes, I pitched. It was really successful. I got Chris and Rabat to invest. Although things didn't really work well. We've been still pushing for this investment, but then we're still working on a few things.
Okay.
But the whole thing was the fact that I got a chance to pitch, and some of the things that I learned that actually helped me build my business, but then also has helped me right now when I'm working with entrepreneurs to actually be able to, at least something they can learn from my pitch and even what I gained from the whole experience.
Absolutely. When you're looking for investors to fund your dream or your idea, that pitch, that is where it all begins.
Yeah.
And you might be given maybe 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 1 minute, and you have to put out an elevator pitch that takes you to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. That's why it's called elevator, because it only takes you between maybe 3 minutes to 5 minutes to actually reach your destination when you're on lift. So
what would be the highlights, or probably the things to put in an elevator pitch?
So in an elevator pitch, you simply say today you actually bump into Richard Branson, for example.
Oh my God, yes.
In a lift, maybe let's say, which is our tallest building here? Let's say KCC.
Yes.
KCC is one of the tallest buildings.
Yes.
And then probably Richard Branson is going to the end of the building. So So then you had a chance like, okay, hi, my name is so and so. So what are some of the things that you need to make sure that before Richard Branson gets off that lift, you actually make sure that you actually seal the deal?
Oh my God.
So one of the first thing, definitely, you need to introduce yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And introducing yourself, you also need to make sure that eye contact is very key and you are calm. So, because that's body language is always very key. Like the first time you meet someone, body language is key. So that's number one.
You can't go, oh, Richard
no, he's
Branson.
like, oh my goodness, this is Richard. Is this you? Like, where are you going?
Exactly, that will not cut it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your body language should be calm, you should be soft, and definitely keep eye contact. So that's number one. Number two, and definitely you've introduced yourself. I am Mwikali, this and this and this. Yeah, and then number two, you need to briefly explain your business. So I do this and this and this. Okay, so I am Calvin. I run a social enterprise called EcoPower. We make eco-friendly products. So you've already, at least already know.
Yes.
And then the second thing is going to be like, why are you doing that business? We're doing this business to try to solve ABCD. So that's the lift is still going. And
Yes,
that's,
it is.
yeah, I mean, the lift is still,
Yes.
is still moving.
You need to be
because
talking like
we
Mukali. You
actually
can't be
just
slow motion here.
because we've just actually passed 5th floor.
Yes.
So we still have like
We still have a bit of
almost like
time.
15 floors ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
So then talk about the impact that you're trying to make. And then now, after the impact, talk about why you think that why they're actually affiliated with the business. So you'll be like, oh, Richard Branson, I know you. I know you're someone who runs this. You're more interested in impact investing. That's why you've invested in Mahali Pazuri. You know the ecology that he runs. So
Yes.
you want somebody to feel that you actually know what they do,
That's
and you want to connect with them because
Yes.
this is someone that you're looking as a partner. You know, is definitely like seducing a woman.
Yes.
Definitely, you want to see what really connects you.
Okay.
So then definitely you have something that connects you. Oh, I've seen you running this, I've seen you doing this. And so I feel my business would actually be very good to merge with this. Okay? So now you still. So then, then we actually looking for this amount of investment to actually to take our company to the next level. Right now, this is how much we've been making. We have 20 companies that actually buy constantly from us.
Okay.
We have 5 people that we've employed. I mean, that's a startup. So I'm
Yes.
just talking about somebody who's just, you know,
Yes.
you're not making a lot of money. You're making probably maybe $500,000, let's say even 200K every month.
Okay.
Not even a lot of money. So 200K every month. So you say, okay, we have 5 people that you're working with. We are making 200K or 500K every month. And we are having maybe 20 companies that we're working with.
Yes.
Okay? And so if we invest this money, it will actually help us maybe do marketing and do this and be able to reach this number of people because our market is this huge.
Yes.
So our market is this huge because that person doesn't really have a statistic about Kenya
Yes.
because most of the investors that we're looking for, probably they don't know about that business much. So you have to make sure that you have the right data to actually support that business that you're doing.
Yes.
Because that person doesn't really know your field. So then once you tell them, okay, this is the data, the economical cake for this business, I'm
Yes.
sure you usually hear those terms. They say, okay, the import of fish is this huge and all that, and we're only supplying 10%, you know, China is doing this and this and this. So those are the kind of things I want to hear. So this business is very lucrative. Actually, it's a $1 million business. So far, so far we've only taken maybe like 50 or 20%. So which means that 80% is still remaining for us to be able to get into.
Okay.
So then you need that person to understand that.
Uko 15th floor saizi kazi.
Yes, almost 15th floor. Okay.
Yes.
So then after that, you'll be like, I think it would be nice to talk to you more about this business. But then we'll be glad to exchange business card. And then they'll actually give you business card and say, okay, actually, I like this business. Please reach out to me.
Yes.
And I'll be glad for us to probably seal a deal.
What?
Yeah. And
that needs to be done in 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
And I think that the reason why it was even longer is because you had to explain.
Yeah, you had to explain
it through for our viewers today.
Yes.
But when you're doing it, it needs to be business card.
Yeah, it has to be business because you know, I always look at a scenario where you go to, let's say, very high-profile conferences. Let's talk about, I mean, I've attended a few high-profile conferences, like what we call the World, the Entrepreneurship Congress.
Okay.
It's a global entrepreneurship congress. That's where you meet the who and who. Like, everybody comes there.
Okay.
And so definitely, if you go there, maybe you're going to meet Richard Branson, maybe even, they might even invite Elon Musk, and maybe you even have a very nice idea.
Oh, wow.
Or they might even have Chris Kirubi, for example, you know, our own entrepreneur here. He might be there. And you want to make sure that by the end of this conference or the network, I've actually met like 5 or 10 different people that actually are potential investors. Because when you go to these conferences, you're not only going there to be like, oh wow, I met so and so. It's like, oh my goodness, oh, this is you. You know, it's like, and taking photos and taking selfies. No, I think that's not how an entrepreneur thinks.
Yes.
So you want to go there, make connection, make partnerships, sometimes you might actually not make a deal, but you might make a business partnership.
Yes.
Meaning that, okay, you're providing A, so we need that A to complement our business that is B.
That's true.
So then you need to form that kind of partnership.
Yes.
But then you have little time. These people don't even have your time because they are being called for interviews. The CNN guys want to interview them, you know, whatever want to interview them.
Yeah.
And you also want to actually have a time. And most of the time you find these people even have securities. So the
Yes.
security guy also doesn't want you to get close to
Where are you going?
you know,
Yeah.
it's like, where are you going? But then you want to make sure that the little time that you have, you've presented yourself, you've made a small pitch,
Yes.
and you've exchanged card, and you can easily email this person back.
Follow it up with an email.
Yes.
Important.
And most of the time,
Yes.
you know, most of the time when you go for networking, make sure you follow on an email at least 72 hours. Don't finish a week and say, oh my goodness, we met at some conference last year.
No. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
At least, or actually 24 hours would be fine.
That would be perfect because
Yeah.
the memory is still fresh.
Yes.
And whoever is receiving them will be like, oh, even I see.
Yeah.
Anajituma basi.
Or even the PA that was there, like, oh yeah, I remember you. And then they'll tell the boss, like, oh, do you remember this young man actually who pitched?
Yes.
He's actually just sent an email. But then now, if you send 1 month later, the PA won't even remember.
They moved on. But Calvin, let's talk about the old-fashioned
Yes.
kind of pitching or, you know, looking for an investor where you plan yourself. You know that I have this and this that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I've seen, say, for example, Red Cross
Yeah.
is doing something similar.
Yes.
So you need to intentionally create a pitch for them.
For them.
Yes. How does that work?
So number one, creating a pitch for specific organizations. So
Yes.
let's say, so let me give you a good scenario with Red Cross, what I
Yes.
think they would want to invest in. So maybe Red Cross would actually want to invest into my blood app, you know, because Red Cross is big in blood donation or disaster management and all that. So I have this app that probably help people easily donate blood.
You actually do?
No. I'm not giving you a
just
scenario.
like, wow,
no, but actually I
Calvin.
have friends who makes those as well. But
Okay,
anyway, so I have
okay.
I have
You
this
have an app,
yes, which is really good in terms of maybe it can easily help people donate blood, but not only donate blood, but it can actually prompt somebody when an accident happens. So because that's someone who needs blood.
Yes.
And can do ABCDs.
And it
so
lets you know probably what type of blood you have.
yes,
Is it
what
A,
type of blood.
B?
So like the app has like everything, you know, it has probably ambulance services when maybe somebody is knocked down, they can be able to, and this is something that like, wow, Red Cross would be like, I think this is a good idea.
Okay.
But then now come and pitch it to us. So how do we go about it? So number one, let's say I have a team that works, we work together definitely as a team, maybe a
Yes.
team of 4 of us. So the first thing is that there's this call for pitch by Red Cross. So the first thing is I need to prepare a deck. They call it pitch deck. Okay. So a deck is more like a PowerPoint presentation
Yes.
that actually talks about that business. So the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to, so on top there I definitely have the title and all that kind of stuff. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is introduce my product. It's the same thing almost like elevator pitch.
Yes.
So I'm going to introduce my product. But then before even I continue, you have to make sure that this pitch is very virtual.
They can
Like they
see.
can see it. So you have a lot of pictorials.
Yes.
And pictorial doesn't mean that you're going to take a picture of a scene of somebody dying somewhere.
no.
You're actually going to make some kind of animation, or you're going to just do graphics, you know. So make sure that your pitch is very graphically presented because you want these people to relate.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to make sure that it's graphically presented, and then stating those different points. So you're going to say, okay, this is my company, this is what we're trying to solve, this is the data. It still goes back to data.
Yes.
Like the reason why we have this blood is because we have shortages in the blood bank, and we feel that with this app we'll be able to reach 1 million people, and we have 500,000 people every month donating blood to Red Cross.
Have your data right.
So have your data right. That's
Yes.
very important.
Very
you have
important.
you have to show the data, what is there, and what is lacking, and the gap that you are filling. That is very key.
Awesome.
So once you have that data, then definitely now you actually start appealing to these guys. Okay.
What would they gain from
Yes,
this?
so they,
How would it
so they've
be?
seen. I mean, they've seen. Oh, so this is so actually there's this data. Also, it's business because data is business. You know, data is business. Whatever data is business.
Okay.
So the next thing that you're going to do is that you have to bring a scenario. You say, oh, maybe, you know, my friend was involved in an accident and they actually either lost their life because there was this and this and this. You want to appeal to the heart of these people because they are human.
Yes.
And they have a human connection and they have that feeling. And so you have to make them feel like, oh, despite we have the data and the data is money, I'm actually not doing this for money. I mean, in quotes.
Yes. Just like I want you to help.
I want
you to help.
I want you guys to
A
help.
Kenyan.
Like, I want you guys to help, you know. We're
Yes.
not doing this thing for money at all.
Yes.
So then that's going to be appealing for them. They have to feel like, wow, so and so died. So we don't want to lose so many people
Yes.
dying in that manner. this
And
why
we can do something
Yeah,
about
and
it.
Not even we can do something. That's why these people are actually doing something. Okay? And then after that, you should tell them what you've done. You'll be like, oh, since we started this up, we've actually worked with 20 schools and we were able to mobilize this amount of pint of blood, working with this number of schools. And we donated either this to this particular blood bank that you can say. Now you've at least done something. So you've seen these guys and all like, oh, it's not like they're going
to.
I mean, it's not like they're bringing this thing to test Kwanzaa.
Exactly. It's tried and tested, which is amazing.
So it's tried and tested.
Yes.
Because genuinely, most investors don't want to invest in like an idea. It's like me sitting here up and saying like, okay, I have this idea. No, they don't want you to help you build that idea. I mean, that's none of their business.
And it even makes more sense when it comes showing you, I need this, but I've done this.
Yes.
Instead of just being like, I need this, guys, and then
yeah, and then
we need to know that you are accountable, that you can see something to the end.
exactly. And then after that, after now you've appealed, now ask what you're asking. But even before that, you can actually, so before you ask, so you can actually ask. So you say, okay, we need this amount of money for us to be able to, those are actually things that you put on PowerPoint. We're talking about that PowerPoint presentation. Yes. You're making it behind your computer, you know, because this is what you're going to be presenting there. Yeah. So you're making this PowerPoint to present computer, you're doing all those graphics and all that. If you have maybe a video of a statistic that was done on healthcare, blah, blah, you can loop it in there. And then, so now you ask and say, okay, so you can say, okay, so far, we've actually been able to raise this amount of money. And Mwikali, being our good friend, she actually gave us $1,000 to invest as part of our capital in this as a friendly donation. And our mother, our friends, they actually gave us this. So we were actually able to raise $500,000 that actually is taking us from this. So now we are looking for this amount of money in form of investment, and either we are going to give you this number of equity, or maybe you're taking as a debt, so that if you give us this money, it will take us to point A to point B, and the market is this big. So now you can talk about the market, what we talked about. Like the market is this big, not only, this thing is not going to only, I mean, you'll be like, you know, Red Cross being a global organization, this thing is going to help your offices in the US, your offices in Latin America, your offices in all over Africa.
Yeah.
And this is something that can actually be replicated.
Yeah.
And this is how we can be able to do it. And this is how kind of impact that it's going to make.
Yeah.
And so we are asking for this amount in regard for this. And then after you ask, you can now briefly say, okay, so far our competitors are so and so, but this is what they lack and this is what we have. So definitely they're not really advantageous to us.
Yes.
So once you've done that, then the judges will be like, wow, this is something amazing. I think we can put $1 million in it.
Yeah.
And definitely by that time you've given your projections. You need to give your projections in terms of the amount of money you're going to make. Probably most investors want to look for projections up to, let's say, 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
Because you've always had startups die either in the age of 3 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
So if this person, you can convince her, say, okay, so for the next 3 years, we're going to be making this. For the next 5 years, we'll be making this. Okay?
Yeah.
And once they buy that, then, because even for companies, people, I mean, investors who buy companies, they always have 2 options. One is they're going to run this company, build it up, or they want to run it a little bit and sell it. So that is the mind of an investor. So once you say, okay, I have maybe a few attractions, they will sell it. I mean, and mostly, yes, companies will always buy other companies to be able to bridge maybe a gap that they're lacking.
Yeah.
So an investor has to have that mindset. I'm either going to run this company for the next 3 years, 4 years, before it dies, maybe, I'm going to sell it to somebody else.
Okay.
And another company is going to take it, either rebrand it, do whatever, and move on with it.
This is very powerful what you've done, Calvin. You've taken us from the starting point where you need to research.
Yes.
You need to do a lot of research. Do your due diligence. Like, just know what this company is all about that
Yes.
you're going to look for an investment from.
Exactly.
And even as you do that, find out what are the loopholes. What solution are you bringing to the table?
Exactly.
And if you do that and do everything else that Calvin has said, I think you will definitely have a good running, or probably even like have a good pitch.
Yeah,
Even if
I
it
mean-
won't go anywhere, they will remember you for
For I mean,
the
they will always remember,
information
like, the
that
information that you
gave
that-
out there.
Yeah, but and even apart from that, they will always recommend you even for grants. I mean,
That's
there's
true.
so many, especially for startups, like young people just starting up. You know, you just have an idea and all that. I mean, once you make a good pitch, you'll always, somebody will tell you, okay, there's an hackathon somewhere, the winner is winning some little money, so then you'll definitely participate there, and then you might win some grants, so you might even win some $500,000. And definitely, as you know, most of the time I see most of the young people say, you know, I don't have capital or blah blah, where can I get money? Is that it's all struggle. I mean, there's
It
nothing
is.
for free.
Nothing for free.
It's all struggle. So start. You have to make sure that you start from somewhere.
That is true.
Invest the little money that you have, because you have to believe in your idea first before I
Yeah,
believe in it.
That is true. If you're coming to sell me something that even you sell yourself first, and that is
Yeah.
even why you need to look good when
Exactly.
you're going to present yourself. Calvin, you came here looking amazing.
Thanks.
You're up. I think it's a good idea. Maybe you should come up with something. Unajua
Definitely.
mtu huku mahali naweza kutafutia.
Yeah, but I think it's good for somebody to prepare.
Yes.
But then again, maybe one thing that I would like to add is that always remember that people don't necessarily invest in ideas or business. People actually invest in you.
That is true. They invest in you. I think that is where we end this conversation. That was a power, very, very important and
Thank you.
very insightful conversation we had. I hope you guys have learned something from that. It can be a 5-minute elevator pitch, or it can be you have time. You even have a month to just plan for that pitch. Okay, so it can be either way, and Calvin Jodisi has actually covered both. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you
Always
so much.
lovely having a conversation with you.
No, it's
this
always love.
well of knowledge bubbling.
Yeah,
And we're always here receiving it. We're going on a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle with Mikali.